good things about Meghan Markle, because right now we're at the tail end of BLM, and you can't insult a woman who's doesn't even, if I'm looking objectively.
Meghan Markle victim. So let's take care of Elon Musk, and then the rest of us will be convinced that this pretty princess is having a...
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life.
Oh my goodness, people. You won't believe what's bubbling up again around Meghan Markle's pregnancy story. Candace Owens has stepped into the spotlight and dropped some juicy observations about Meghan's birth that are making waves everywhere. And get this, a hospital insider who claims to have been there has also shared their version of events. Now when you stack that up against Harry's own memoir, let's just say some details simply don't line up. And here's the kicker. Healthcare professionals who have peeked into this timeline are raising eyebrows. Inconsistencies, contradictions, and a whole lot of questions are emerging. And trust me, the more you dig, the stranger it gets.
Trump indeed did drop, and I will pin for you the exact moment that it did, if we're able to capture.
So, in Spare, yes, Harry's infamous memoir, he spills some very personal details about Archie's birth. He says Meghan had not one but 2 epidurals during her stay at Portland Hospital. And apparently, just 2 hours later, the couple was already back at Frogmore Cottage. 2 hours! Are we really supposed to believe that? Think about it. The drive alone from Portland Hospital in central London to Windsor takes about an hour under normal conditions. That means that within the remaining hour, everything else, labor, aftercare, baby wellness checks, getting discharged, packing up and traveling, had to fit neatly into that impossible little window. Healthcare experts are whispering, wait a second, is that even realistic?
It wasn't a tabloid rumor. It wasn't speculation whispered across dinner tables or stirred up by social media.
Exactly, because within that hour, so much would have had to happen. The delivery itself, immediate care for Meghan and baby Archie, post-birth checks, and getting them both ready to leave. And here's where it gets really eyebrow-raising. Normally, after an epidural, medical teams prefer to monitor moms for quite a while as the medication wears off. Observation time is standard practice, yet Harry's version suggests they skipped all that. Doesn't that make you wonder what was really going on?
The British monarchy is faced with a legitimacy crisis not seen in modern times. Archie and Lilibet, currently...
Oh, and Harry doesn't stop there. He also writes about complications, like Archie's head being repositioned during delivery, which added complexity to the birth. Now, in situations like that, most hospitals wouldn't be rushing you out the door. They'd slow things down, make sure both mother and baby are completely fine before sending anyone home. Especially at Portland, a hospital with a reputation for first-class, attentive care. They're known for sticking to thorough post-delivery routines. Yet here we have a story of a complicated birth and a lightning-fast exit. Doesn't add up, does it?
I feel played. Hello, my friend. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media,
Here's the thing. Even in straightforward, complication-free births, most new moms stay several hours, if not overnight, so staff can check vital signs, feeding, and overall wellness. Harry's account makes it sound like they treated this whole experience like some sort of pit stop. That's exactly why this story has been a lightning rod for curiosity. It's so different from the norm that everyone, from healthcare workers to royal watchers, is side-eyeing the timeline.
They asked, where's the mother? And all they got was silence. Tonight, an explosive development shakes...
And then there's Meghan and Harry's reasoning for keeping things low-key at the hospital. They said they didn't want to create chaos for other patients by attracting too much attention. Sounds thoughtful, right? Like they were considering the needs of other families. But many people interpret this as just another excuse to dodge the usual public traditions. After all, their relationship with the press was already sour, and they were clearly ready to keep control of the narrative.
Some rumours that she's not a mum and never has been. Just when the difficult Duchess wanted all the talk of her fake baby.
Harry even admitted that their tensions with the press played a huge role in how they chose to share the news. And you know what? Many parents can relate to that, wanting those first precious hours with your newborn without media flashbulbs blinding you. But then comes the kicker. They claimed they followed the standard royal process of notifying the press, yet somehow it didn't unfold like other royal births. Really? Following the rules but somehow not? People can't help but roll their eyes.
Meghan has spent years accusing the media of twisting the truth, painting herself as a victim of false stories.
Think about it. Royals have traditions for these moments. The Queen is always informed. Protocols are followed to the letter. It's not optional. It's required. But Harry and Meghan's birth announcement seemed different. Even protection officers had to juggle balancing safety, tradition, and the couple's wishes. All of this sounds like a recipe for confusion, or maybe a deliberate effort to rewrite the royal playbook.
What if the world watched a royal pregnancy that never actually happened? In a stunning twist just revealed, King Charles.
And honestly, can we just pause for a second to talk about the royal balancing act here? Imagine being Meghan, a first-time mom, while also being married into one of the world's most rigid institutions. On one side, you've got centuries-old traditions breathing down your neck. On the other, you've got your own very modern, very private wishes. And then throw in the royal protection team, whose main job is to make sure everything goes smoothly while also keeping everyone safe. That is so much pressure, and it shows why this whole birth story feels layered with secrecy and contradictions. Let's talk Portland Hospital. This place isn't just a hospital. It's like the Rolls-Royce of maternity care. Families choose Portland when they want their birth experience to feel special, private, and frankly, glamorous. Forget sterile walls and drafty gowns. Walking into Portland feels more like checking into a luxury hotel. Plush furnishings, high-quality amenities, top-tier neonatal and maternal care units, it's all there. And when they need extra expertise, Portland has strong connections with other hospitals across London. Think of it like having VIP access to a network of specialists. And Portland is smart. They don't try to be everything for everyone. Instead, they've perfected women's health and childbirth. It's like a high-end restaurant that only serves its best signature dishes, not a bloated menu. That's why wealthy families and celebrities adore it. If Meghan really gave birth there, she couldn't have picked a better setting. But this is also why Harry's 2 epidurals home in 2 hours story raises eyebrows. Because at Portland, with their reputation for attentive aftercare, rushing a new mother out so quickly, that just doesn't fit the picture. And here's the thing, Portland doesn't just focus on safety, it curates an experience. Families are pampered, rooms look more like suites. The food service? Gourmet. You ring, they bring it, day or night. It's all about making families feel comfortable, respected, and cared for during such an emotional time. Which again begs the question, why would Harry slip out at 2 a.m. for food, as he claims, when Portland is famous for their all-hours, top-notch meals? That detail alone makes people whisper, what's real and what's fabricated? This is why healthcare professionals zeroed in on Harry's 2 epidurals claim. Normally, when a catheter for an epidural is placed, it stays in. If pain relief needs adjusting, the dosage is changed, not the whole procedure repeated. For Meghan to have had 2 full epidurals, the medical team would have had to remove the first catheter entirely and start over. Sure, it's possible, but it's not common. In fact, some say it's like calling a plumber to install a brand new water line when you just needed the pressure adjusted. Doesn't make sense unless something went seriously wrong. Now mix in nitrous oxide, laughing gas. Harry says Meghan used it during labor. And yes, laughing gas is sometimes offered, but it's tightly monitored. Staff always keep an eye on dosage. Meghan using it alongside 2 epidurals? That combination alone raises the stakes and makes her back home in 2 hours story even harder to believe. No wonder healthcare professionals are scratching their heads. Think about the reality. In those first magical hours after a baby is born, the delivery room is buzzing. Feeding checks, vitals, bonding, skin to skin. It's a whirlwind. And yet, according to Harry, they breezed through all of that and sped home. Most mothers, especially those who've had epidurals, or in Meghan's case 2, are usually kept for monitoring at least overnight, sometimes 1 or 2 full days. Harry paints a picture of a perfectly smooth, ultra-quick exit. And Buckingham Palace, of course, declined to comment, letting speculation fester. And here's where it all snowballs into full-blown gossip territory. Rumors swirled about surrogates. Whispers grew louder when a woman stepped forward claiming she'd been paid to carry Archie. Imagine the shockwaves that sent through royal gossip circles. Combine that with Harry's too perfect narrative, Meghan's age at the time, 37, which normally calls for extra medical monitoring, and it feels like we've got more smoke than fire alarms can handle. And that's not all. Meghan allegedly dealt with preeclampsia, a condition involving high blood pressure that can pose risks for mom and baby. If true, her hospital stay should have been even longer, yet Harry insists they were home in just hours. See how the contradictions just keep stacking up? Now let's dig deeper into this so-called 2 epidurals story. Think about it. Normally, with an epidural, you've got 1 catheter in place and it's adjusted as needed. The idea of Meghan having 2 separate epidurals, that means the first one was pulled out and the whole thing was started again from scratch. Sure, technically possible, but rare. And let's be real, it would have been a huge moment in the room if that happened. Yet Harry casually mentions it like it's nothing. People in the medical field are saying, hold on, that doesn't line up with standard practice. And then there's the nitrous oxide or laughing gas. Harry claims Meghan was using that too. Now yes, it's available in some labor settings, but it's tightly supervised. Staff are always hovering nearby to monitor it. The thought of Meghan juggling 2 epidurals and laughing gas and then strolling out of the hospital a couple of hours later? That's not just unusual, it's unbelievable. Healthcare insiders are shaking their heads, saying, this is not the standard royal birth story we expected. But Harry's version of events doesn't just stop at the hospital. He sprinkles in details that honestly make you go, wait, what? For example, he says that at 2 a.m., he went out to get food for Meghan. Excuse me? This is Portland Hospital we're talking about. The place famous for gourmet food service at any hour. Room service on demand, 5-star meals, you snap your fingers, and it's there. So why would Harry leave Meghan and his newborn son to hunt down snacks in the middle of the night when world-class food was literally one phone call away? That detail just doesn't sit right. And then there's the story about using a special elevator to make their discreet exit. Sounds dramatic, like something out of a spy movie. But parents who've delivered at Portland were quick to say, special elevator? What special elevator? Most people leave the normal way. So again, another suspicious detail. Was this just Harry exaggerating, or was something else being covered up? And let's not forget the lifestyle Meghan and Harry flaunted right after Archie's birth. Instead of hunkering down like most exhausted new parents, they were out and about, visiting friends like Elton John, traveling, attending events. Any mother who's been through childbirth would agree. The first weeks are exhausting. The idea of packing bags and jetting off sounds impossible. Yet Meghan and Harry seemed full of energy. For many moms, this was the detail that made them scoff. Because if you've truly gone through the physical toll of labor, especially a complicated one, you're not in the mood for parties and trips. And then comes the confusion around which doctor even delivered Archie. At first, one name was reported. Later, that doctor was ruled out. So who was it? Why the secrecy? Why the mix-ups? Even close sources tell different versions of the story. And here's where it gets very interesting. When multiple people in the same circle remember the same event differently, that alone sparks gossip. It makes people wonder, if the small details are murky, what else could be hidden? That's the thing with Archie's birth story. It's like a puzzle where none of the pieces quite fit together. The quick recovery, the unusual epidural claims, the food run in the middle of the night, the phantom elevator, the doctor confusion, the whispers of a surrogate, every piece adds more intrigue. And when you stack them all up, it becomes less of a birth story and more of a royal mystery.